Hello everybody, this is my first video on YouTube and I'm a newbie to data science. As you may have already guessed from the title, in this video I'll be dealing with predictive analysis, exploratory data analysis and model fitting. The domain that I have chosen for this data analysis is hotel bookings. Let us first try to understand the main objective of any hotel. Hotel websites use quotes like "come stay and enjoy your day," "we make the ordinary extraordinary," etc. So what is the motto behind these quotes? The motto of any hotel is to provide the best services in order to retain their customers. However, the motto of a customer making a hotel booking is to choose the right room at the right price. What, why and where is data science involved when it comes to hotel bookings? Let us first understand what data is used by hotels. A lot of factors go into pricing the rooms in any hotel. Previously, hotels used a manual workforce to accomplish these tasks, but with the evolution of data science, the hospitality industry has turned to data analysis to do this complex and sophisticated jobs. Why is data science used in hotel industry? The hotel industry is a luxury embedded industry with a customer-centric approach. Revenue management and customer satisfaction are the two important factors which keeps it going. Where do hotels use data analysis? Hotels use data analysis for various factors such as forecasting future events, encouraging repeated visits, better customer satisfaction, segmentation, better yield management, menu engineering and optimization, effectiveness of marketing, improving the productivity and revenue management. Implementation. Let us take the example of Marriott Hotels. It is one of the most prominent hotels and a globally recognized hospitality leader. Now, it is also a leader among hoteliers attempting at digitalization. The company stated that their secret of success was nothing new. They were constantly striving to attract new customers, retain legacy ones, and open new markets by building the right corporate culture. The company also said that they recognize the value of innovations and use data to guide their decision-making procedures. The company has a separate data strategy and governance team for this purpose. They use data to track the competitor brands and hotels, identify new revenue streams, etc. For revenue management, they use DPA, that is Dynamic Pricing Automation, and for customer satisfaction, they have tie-ups with various companies for performance improvement. Dataset. For this analysis, I have used a dataset from Kaggle.com which is called Hotel Booking Demand. I will make sure to put that link in the description below, so if you are interested, please check that out. The application software used for this data analysis is Jupyter Notebook. Predictive analysis. What is predictive analysis? As the name suggests, predictive analysis is used to predict the outcome of any event. In case of a hotel booking, a hotelier would try to predict the number of bookings in the coming months, the number of cancellations, etc. I have done various processes like data cleaning, data preparation, exploratory data analysis on the data. Visualization concepts were used to answer various questions like: firstly, what type of a hotel does a customer book in general? Which is the busiest month of the hotel? In which month is the customer most likely to wait the longest before the hotel booking is confirmed? Which market segment makes the highest number of bookings? When a customer is accompanied by children or babies, how likely is the hotel going to receive a special request from him or her? Which type of hotel is more likely to be cancelled? A customer from which segment of the market is most likely to cancel the booking? Does the booking cancellation affect repetition of customers to the hotel? Which segment of the market usually has the least number of days on the waiting list? What type of customers should the hotel focus on in order to retain its customers and ensure that the hotel increases its number of bookings in the future? Now let us understand data modeling. For modeling the data set, I have used two different classification models, that is the decision tree classification model and the random forest classification model. A decision tree model is used when there is a yes or no situation, that is, for any given question, the customer either chooses a yes or a no. The accuracy of this model was 74%. The second model that I used is the random forest classification model. This is used when there is a multiple choice situation. That is, for a given question, a customer can choose between multiple choices. The accuracy of this model is seen to be 81%. Let us now understand the code used for this data analysis. The first step is data collection. In this piece of code, we have imported certain libraries from Python like pandas, numpy, cborn, etc. We have used alias names like pd for pandas, np for numpy, sns for cborn, etc. We also see that my dataset is stored in a CSV format, that is .csv, a comma separated file. On executing this piece of code, this is the output. Indeed, there is a lot of data to deal with. We approximately have around 120,000 rows and 32 columns. I'm using this piece of code to explicitly mention that again. Now I'm giving the list of df.columns to understand what columns are there in my dataset. It has many important columns like the hotel type, whether it is cancelled or not, the lead time, that is the time difference between the date of booking and the date of arrival of the customer. The arrival date is again split into the year, month, the week number and the day of the month. It also has some other columns like adults, the number of children, number of babies, the country from which the customer is arriving, the market segment, the distribution channel, whether the customer is a repeated guest, his previous cancellations, his booking changes, the deposit type, the days in waiting list, the total number of special requests, etc. Now I have executed this piece of code to understand the number of bookings for various types of hotels. We see that our dataset has only two types of hotels, that is resorts and then the city hotels. The resorts have around 40,000 bookings and the city hotels have around 80,000 bookings in the dataset initially. I'm using the df.dt types command to understand the data type of every column in the dataset. The next stage is data cleaning and preparation. I am dropping unnecessary columns like arrival date, year, the agent, the company, the reservation status date, etc. because this would reduce my dataset even more. Now we are checking if our dataset has any kind of duplicate data. I am using the function df.duplicated to check if there are any duplicate rows in my dataset. Indeed, we see that there are 32,267 rows which have duplicate data with 28 columns. Now I'm using the df.count to understand how many rows are there in each column. We see that a few rows have less number of entries compared to the other rows, like the country row, etc. Let us now drop these duplicate values. I am now again using the count function to understand how many rows are left with in each column after dropping the duplicate values. We see that around 87,123 rows are still left, which was previously 119,390 rows. So our dataset did have a lot of duplicate values in it. Now let us check if the dataset has any null values in it. For this, I have used a function called isNull, which checks if there are any null values in the dataset. When I execute this piece of code, it shows that there are indeed a few null values in a few columns. We see that there are 451 null values in the country column and there are 4 null values in the children column. Now what do we do about these null values? We drop these null values so that the data set is further reduced. Now the data set has reduced to 86,668 entries, which was previously around 87,000. We are again checking to ensure that there are no more null values in the data set, and indeed all the null data has been removed and we are not left with any null values in any column in the data set. Now I'm using the describe function to understand the various factors and various values like the minimum and maximum of various columns. For example, in lead time we have minimum is 0, that is the time between the date of booking and the arrival date is minimum 0 and maximum 737, which means the maximum is around 2 years. Let us check for another column. Booking changes. We have a minimum of 0, that is 0 booking changes, and the maximum is 21. So we have a maximum of 21 booking changes in our data set. So we have now removed the null values, the duplicate values, and we have dropped those rows and reduced the data set. I am now again trying to plot and understand how many entries are there. How many entries are there for each type of hotel? Now the resort hotel entries have been reduced to around 33,000 and the city hotels have been reduced to around 53,000. We use the box plot to plot and understand if there are any outliers in our data. Indeed, we see that there are a lot of outliers in our data, like the box plot is not even clear in the data set. We are now individually plotting the box plots for various factors like lead time. Here I have plotted the box plot for lead time and we see that there are a lot of outliers for this variable. Let us plot for another column. Here I have plotted for another column, that is ADR, which is the address of the customer. This value also seems to have a few outliers in the data. Now what is an outlier? An outlier is an abnormally large or small value in the data set which may lead to some noise in the data. In general, we try to avoid or remove these outliers from the data set so that the data set becomes normal and is easy for analysis. In order to drop the outliers, here I'm using the interquartile range and finding out how many outliers are there in the data in order to drop them. Now I've used the piece of code called df.dt types to understand the data type of each column in the dataset. Data visualization. The first plot that I have given here is the plot between market segment and the days on waiting list. Here we see that aviation industry has the minimum number of days on the waiting list. The reason for this might be that when a flight has to land at a location, it has to provide immediate accommodation to all of its working staff like pilots, air hostesses, etc. So they do not entertain hotels which put them on a waiting list for too long. So in general, the hotel management sees that their needs are met immediately and provides rooms to them with almost 0 days on the waiting list. The next plot is between the distribution channel and the days on waiting list. Again, we see that the travel agents and tour operators are the distribution channel for which the highest number of days are there on the waiting list. We have now grouped the data into months based on months by various factors like lead time, the booking changes, the days in waiting list, the type of hotel, etc. Here I have used a heat map to provide the relationship between the arrival month and the hotel. This gives us an on-site onto which are the busiest months of the hotel. As we see in City Hotel, the The month with the highest booking seems to be August. Then it's followed by July, June, May, March, etc. However, in resort hotels, the only busiest month seems to be August, followed by July. The rest of the months do not show a huge number of hotel bookings. Now let us try to understand the type of hotel and the number of bookings per month. We see that again in the months of August, July and May, the number of bookings are highest for city hotels. In resorts as well, the highest number of bookings are in the month of August. I have done various visualizations for various factors like the cancellation and the hotel type, the deposit type and the hotel type, the cancellation type and a repeated guest. This is an important visualization that I have done. Here I'm comparing two important concepts, that whether the hotel booking is cancelled and whether the customer is a repeated guest or not. We see that when the hotel booking is cancelled and the customer is a repeated guest, the entries are almost zero, which means that a repeated guest is very less likely to cancel his booking with a hotel. The next visualization that I have done is the type of hotel and the market segment. We see that in both city hotels and the resort hotels, the maximum number of bookings are bought by online travel agents. However, the online travel agents as well get a lot of bookings for their hotels through this. So it's a win-win situation for both of them. This is a plot that I have done to compare the hotel type and the distribution channel. Here I'm trying to address the question of if a customer is accompanied by babies or children, how likely is it that he will place a special request to the hotel? Contrary to the popular belief, we see that the relation is 0.09, which is very minute. That is, if a customer is accompanied by babies or adults, he need not make a special request to the hotel. Now let us understand this plot. Here I have plotted the reservation status of the booking with respect to the market segment. We see that most of the bookings either in the cancelled status or in the checkout status are done by the online travel agents. As I have mentioned earlier, I had grouped various factors with respect to the month of arrival of the customer. This is a plot that I have done. Here we are comparing the month of the year with the lead time. Lead time, as I have already mentioned, is the difference between the date of booking and the date of arrival of the customer. We see that in the month of July, the days on waiting list, the lead time is the highest. Let us see the next plot. Here I have tried to compare the weeknights and the month of the year. Here I have compared the weekend night stays on the month of the year. Here I have compared the booking changes compared to every month of the year. We see that the month of August has a lot of booking changes, and it is accompanied by July, May, June, April, etc. Now this is again an important visualization concept. Here I have tried to visualize the two important factors, that is the days in waiting list and the month of the year. So in general, though the number of bookings are highest in the months of August and July as we've seen before, we see that in October the number of days in waiting list is more, which means that a customer has to wait for a longer time and is then booked to a room in customer. This can likely be a situation where the customer has made a booking for the previous month, but it had been on the waiting list and then the booking was confirmed in October. Now I've tried to give a heat map for the entire data set. That is, I have tried to give this heat map to understand the relation between various columns in the data set. We see that a lot of blue color is seen in this heat map, which means that various factors like let us see the first column is cancelled. Is cancelled has a lot of blue columns, which means that there are not a lot of factors which influence the cancellation of a booking. However, we see some positive values like lead time has 0.18. We have ADR, which has 0.13. ADR is the address. The relation between is cancelled and address is 0.13, and we see a correlation of 0.18 with lead time. Now let us go to data modeling. I am again just checking the shape of my data set, that is how many number of rows and columns I have. I am still left with 86,668 rows and 28 columns. For data modeling, I'm trying to use only those rows in the dataset which have cancelled their booking. I'm not including the rows which have not cancelled their booking in order to make the modeling easier. We see that the total number of cancellations are 23,000. Among the 86,000, around 1/3 of them have cancelled their bookings. I'm trying to calculate this as a percentage, that is the total percentage of bookings cancelled was around 23,000, that is around 27%. In resort hotels this is around 24%, and in city hotels this is around 30%. I'm trying to create a data frame with relevant data. Here I have created a data frame with various factors, and I have ordered them by months, that is from January to December. Then I have plotted this figure where I have tried to understand the cancellations per month. We see that the highest number of cancellations are in the months of April and December in city hotels, and in resort hotels the highest number of cancellations and the highest number of cancellations in resort hotels is in the month of August. Let us now try to understand what is the correlation or what is the relation between the booking being cancelled and the factors involving it. We see that the most important factors are required car parking spaces, lead time, the address, total number of special requests, booking changes, etc. The first factor, which is required car parking spaces, can be misleading because in resorts we mostly see that resorts provide a lot of car parking spaces to their customers. However, this may not be true with city hotels. So lead time is the most important factor for cancellation of a booking. Now I have chosen the numerical features and the characteristic feature, the categorical and numerical features of my data set. I have separated them, and then I'm dropping all the columns where the booking is not cancelled. I'm pre-processing my data, and now I'm trying to fit models. That is, here I have used two models, that is the decision tree classifier and then the random forest classifier. I'm trying to use k-folds and split. K-fold is for cross-validation, and we are shuffling the data to ensure that there is a random distribution. We are trying to train our data. When I execute this piece of code, we see two important results. Firstly, the DT model, that is the decision tree classifier model, gave us an accuracy of around 74%. The computer is loading for the next classification model, that is the random forest classification model, and yes, the output is 80% accuracy, or 80.6, that is almost 81% accuracy. So we see that for predicting the cancellation of a booking, a random forest classification model is the best fit for the given data. Now let us try to visualize any of the important factors. Here I have visualized the most important factor, which is the lead time. We see that the effect of lead time on cancellation is positive. That is, as the lead time increases, the number of cancellations increase. So that is it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching.